Dzień dobry.
Thank you very much. Good morning. To you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to this series of knowledge seekers from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. The course of the knowledge has been open to man, and every time man has denied the knowledge of creation, is set back itself in evolution of what we call understanding, the cycle of creation of the universe. Our ancestors, generations back, and back generations back, which means the generation which ended and then recreated in a different dimension of understanding, all have come to this conclusion. All reach the point that the mankind is trying to reach now. But mainly has been done in what we call localities. In Egypt, in South America, in East Asia. But in essence, we see the same structures. When we go back to the time of pyramids, when we go back to beyond the time of pyramid, because pyramids has become a reference point that how well our ancestors of ancestors were able to do things. In a coming time, in a very, very short time, we show you how structures are moved. Again goes through the emotion of the understanding, the cycle of life. In the knowledge of today, we see we use rocket propulsion. Now we use magnetic fields. Keshe Foundation, part of the structure which you have seen, uses what we call plasma technology. And this is one of the biggest problems that man has not resolved. Separation of the matter. Positioning. What we call in the terminology of the Maghraf technology, Maghraf position. There's a part of this teaching which is missing. And we will unravel, we will open this very shortly. But you have to learn how to handle your soul. Then you understand how you move your physicality. When you look back into the structures which are about the same time both around the world, there are a lot of theories how hundreds of tons of stones have been moved, positioned, and what technology they have. They use slaves and the rest of it. None of this has ever been used. This is what we call the forgotten knowledge, because those who were in possession of it destroyed the whole cycle, that man will not carry on with what was doing. When we show a UFO, it's not just creating a magnetic field for it to move. It's creating the condition, the environment. Understanding the soul of the flight system, understanding the soul of the man which wants to fly, there is no difference between the two. In the technical point of view, when you want to move a plane, you increase the burst, you increase the boosters, pressurize and move. The same technology applies in traveling the span of the universe. But understanding how you create that pressure, how you create the condition that no pressure is used, except understanding the pressure of the separation. In technical details, in the coming time when we show the UFOs and how they rapidly depart, land and the rest, you will see there's a hidden technology. This is why a lot of you have tried to use star formation and the rest and not have managed. You all have the Rolls Royce, but you don't have the golden key to ignite, to turn the car on to go. And that knowledge will be given to man when the man understands the end of killing. It's that fathers say, you eat your meal, I'll give you a sweetie. You can have the chocolate, you can have the ice cream if you finish your meal. When the man stops killing, we give you that ice cream. We give you the key to universal travel. We give you the key to become part of universal community. We give you the golden key that allows man to open the door that will move mountains, not just the stone. If the Stonehenge that in the next few days become the center of the attention of the equinox is baffling how man moved these stones, we show you how you can move mountains. Mountains in the middle of deserts with the snow on top. Doesn't need that much knowledge. It's just to know the knowledge. In a way, to know the trick of the creation of the motion. This is hidden. And man, every time reached this, became arrogant and tried to demolish the destructive universe because he realized now he knows how to move. Now he exports the killing machine, the body habit of the man to kill. This is why you don't find any literature about it, because it was erased from the memory of every living thing. You don't finish your food, we take the ice cream away. One of the key positions in being able to transmute, one of the key positions to be able to transfer, one of the key positions in understanding how to transmute is understanding the evolution of the science of the body of the man, as we explained last time. When you look at the structure of the body of the man, when you see the dimension of the expansion of how things are set, you'll come to understand how feeble man has been in understanding the structure of his own physical body. When you look at every aspect of the body of the man, don't look at the way he stands like a tree. Look on the top and see what this man looks like from the top. How this man takes shape in understanding the work of itself. We are back into this game of this computer. What is interesting for us is that the systems we have a problem. Houston. Okay. Sorry about this. You need a tutorial every time when you use this board.
If you go to the squiggly line with
I'm on the squiggly line. I'm doing what you taught me last time. Okay. This squiggly line is too squiggly. Okay. If we look at the top view of the body of the man, what do we see? We see more or less a sphere. Forget about two little dingly things you call your ear and the little thing you call your nose. If you look at this structure, in this structure, you have the center point, which is the soul of the man. We don't see any difference between this and a star. You have a little bit a structural condition of some of us have a longer nose, some of us have a longer face, but in essential, this is the shape of your body. When we look at you on the top. And in a way, man should look at itself in this manner. You are a dynamic plasma, fed from the center. The gravity which absorbs material to this planet, which land on us on different shape of material, is the gravity which the soul of the man creates to absorbing fields from the universe. There is no difference, unless you want to be ignorant. The soul of the man, in the center of the body of the man, is the creator of the gravitational magnetic field of the body of the man. And your skull sits exactly at 1G, where your brain tapers up inside is your 1G dimension. Interface between the outside world and inside world. This pressure has never been tested by man because man never understood. And the same as interaction of the fields and inertia matter state dictates the mountains, the valleys, the water. This dictates how your feature is, what the shape of your cheeks are, how much hair you grow, and the rest of it. But in essential, in the center of the planet, we call it the core of the planet. The soul of the man is that core. No difference. And is the dictator of how you behave, how you stand, how you interact, what is your social interaction. Are you shy? Are you timid? Are you happy? It's all decided by the soul of the man. Because it's like the weather forecast, and it's like geology. You create a storm, you attract the storm, you create a condition of the warmth, and you get the summer. It's the position in respect to itself. It's the position in respect to the central point of the earth, and that's how it is. If you thought you're special, you're part of the, what I call robotic manufacturing production chain of the universe. And in essence, in the center, everything is the same. It's a car with an engine, principle the same, depends who manufactures it, how much pressure and the size of the piston, and what kind of shell you put on it. But the engine is the same. You buy a car, it says 4-cylinder, this capacity, so many horsepower. And it's the same with the body of the man. It's the same with the soul of the man. It's the same with the core center of the body of the man. What it does, it shows behavior. What it does, it shows in the interaction with its dimension of fields, the feature. Your soul interacts with the gravitational magnetic field, environmental inertia of the environment you live in and you lived in, then this dictates your character, your feature, and the rest of it. So does your soul and your physicality. How come you accept to look Chinese because you live in that part of the world, and how come you accept to be black in Africa in that part of the world? It's interaction of your soul with the dimension, inertia, interaction of the fields of the environment. The same is there, but this time this interaction is called emotion. That storm, that hurricane is called the anger emotion in the man. That gentle breeze of the spring coming and touching you is called the mother. Love of the mother, love of the lover. So we are no different than the rest of the structure of the what we call mechanism of the running of the universe. The way the planets are created, the way the stars are created, the way the galaxies are created, is the way we are created. The only thing is, you have a ship floating the oceans of the universe, you have the body of the man floating the conditional magnetic field of this planet. So what do you do when you get to somewhere in the ship? You throw an anchor, you tie yourself to the board on the side to make sure you can stay there and enjoy the beach. So man created his legs and arms to do that. That's our anchor to the dimension of physicality. We anchored ourselves to this planet through extension of, and this is why if you look at the brain of the man is half, because the other half man has compromised into the neural system to create the body of the man. Your feet, your arms are that hook, that anchor to the planet, and we find it so comfortable that we cannot separate it. But if you learn through the rhythm of breathing, rhythm of understanding the work, you can cut this anchor, separate it. You can understand that even chop half of your leg, if it's trapped in the stone, that you can take the rest with you. Our ancestors could do it because they knew how to do it. And we teach you this. When the man decides to stop killing, we teach how the man can cut itself, take the anchor off and travel the span of the universe. In the teaching of last week, and we saw that in the intro, we have separated the blood from the breathing. If you look and understood part of the teaching of last week, the kiss of mother is free. And if you understood the whole structure, and if you understood the meaning of the teaching of last week, man kills to eat, to feed this, be it green grass, be it red flesh of the animal. And for it, he has to create emotions of killing, because that's the reason he dies, because he kills. If the man learns not to kill, man survives hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years in the span of the universe. The cause of his death is him causing the death of the others. But as we said, the kiss of the mother is free, and she adjusts itself to what you need because you don't kill for it. And if we look at the structure of the man, the physical part kills and the soul part breathes. Because body of the man has created the nostrils. The body of the man has created a position that the air which is free is for me, and I use it to survive. I don't kill for it. We don't kill to take a breath. We don't destroy to take the breath. This is the beauty, the way the nature of the Creator is. We stuck to the physical dimension, attached to anchoring ourselves, and we want to enjoy the beach of this planet. When a man learns that he can live through the free gift of the magnetic fields of the body of the universe, which on this planet he has converted to the breathing, then man understands why and how he can use his breath. He can use to create a condition of the separation to rely on the energies of the universe than the physicality of killing. This is why I started teaching you about the lymph. This is why I start teaching you about breathing. It's not just for that. It's what you are given free by the kiss of the Creator, the kiss of Mother. And every time you need something, you're short of something, the soul creates that field, and the universe through the nostrils and to the ear holes gives it to the man. Maturity to the eye of the man even feeds your soul. Now you understand where we are heading for, and how your breath, the air you take, is unconditional love from the kiss of the Creator. What you receive, it measures and then analyzes what it should be in the next breath, and the world of creation provides it for you. Those intelligent men who understood it, they played with it, they made themselves gurus and the rest, because they even understood part of it. And then they abused it. And that's the time when they lost it. You remember, I explained to you the story of the guru who came to Zansano and his followers lying on the floor for him to get out of the car. I took him upstairs and I told him, I know you're a cheat. He said, we have nothing to talk about. Because the guy learned what I'm trying to teach you, but halfway in abusing it, he lost it. In controlling your breath, you control what you receive from the Creator. It's not just the air. It shows how feeble the understanding of the man is. The government charges you for the water you drink. Your government taxes you for the food you put in mouth. The Creator gives it to you freely. You decided to shackle yourself to the one nation or another, one platform on one planet or another. So when we speak about the breathing, is how you connect to the universal energy. Not in how you bring other things in that it suits you. Look at your thyroid gland and understand what is a copy of the reverse copy of your brain. Upside down, fitting up directly into it to do exactly what is missing. What the body has done has shed half of its bottom end puts it on the neck of the man, where the physicality and the energies of the universe come together, and then has made the extension to your, what you call, spinal cord. In a way, one day when your scientists understand and take your thyroid gland and stick it at the bottom of your brain, you see you don't need the physicality. The sphere of the creation in a dimension is complete. You anchored yourself to this planet, and with it, it came the rest of it. Mankind is not from this planet. There has not been enough time for it to process, to create such a complicated cycle of life. Humanity as we know it, the structure you call yourself mankind, is not from this planet. And in so many ways, I always keep on telling you, 1/3 of you are not from here. The origins. The rest of you are created in the condition of this planet. This planet, in time of its creation, has not had enough conditions to create the process of a kidney, how kidney is done, the purpose of it, and the rest of it. They are implanted of the implantation of the others. If you think how my brain is connected to my leg and arm, and how the heartbeat, how every cell at a given time changes, this is the process of the creation, not mankind on this planet. The seed has been brought in, and the environment has grown the seed. We brought the first rose, and then you played with it, you made it red, blue, yellow, and every other color, the black, the Chinese, the African, and the rest. Now, if man understands this, if man come to understand how he can control the energies he receives, you call it breathing, the kiss of mother free from the creator, then you can control the separation. You can decide how to cut the leg, because you create the condition for it, because you don't need that leg, because you can create that leg anytime. You do not need to cut the leg. You can create, every man has it, and you have no knowledge of it, and you read it everywhere, that every organ, part of your body is under your foot. This is the place for a kidney. This is place for your liver. Why? This is when you create that separation with your skin, with the surface of this planet, it gives order that we all going, we are separating together from this planet. Functionality of the liver goes according to the absorption of the energies of the soul of the man. In a way, any of you can stand, create that condition, and left. You do not know the condition. You're only what, 50? You're beautiful, skinny guy and a woman, and the guy is eating fat with 200 kilo. It's the same. It needs the understanding of the separation in the energy of the universe in your body. We separate from the position, and every organ, everything comes with us. We don't leave the liver behind just because we jumped. When you jump from one platform to another, do you leave your kidney and your body behind on the last platform? Because psychologically your body has contained it. So you can do the same if you know how to create the separation between the energies of the universe that you breathe every second, and the energies of what we call the planet, the position, the place. If mankind understand this, and mankind understand that his head, his brain, his position of his brain, the center of its operation, that what you call the core of the planet Earth, we call it the soul of the man, is controlled, receives, understands the operation of the work of the universe, and by breathing you continuously connect yourself to. I'm short of certain fields which can give me magnesium in my leg. You go and buy a magnesium tablet, you create that emotion in your soul, in the central energy, and it's delivered to your leg directly within microsecond, exactly where you want it. You don't know? I need calcium. Oh, the best source of it. I kill a planet. I need magnesium. Oh, the best source of it. I kill an animal. Steak, medium rare, gives you the best magnesium level. The body of the man is the conflict, is the embodiment of the fighting between the physical dimension and the universal dimension. This is why you get diseases. Because you cannot control to feed the body of the man with the energies of the universe. Now you understand, when we start teaching you about the breathing, what is the reason? Is how you absorb energies from the universe. Your lungs are just a reverse system to pump it out, that the new energies can come. Otherwise, the creator would have created a hole right through your brain, that the winds and the energies pass through from one ear to another, feeds the soul, and that was it. You would have been a rocket, like a 2-rocket engine floating on the head. The conversion is done, that it brings you to your lung, and your lung in return reject it out for a new one to come. What is needed in physicality is delivered to your lung, and that lung decides in connection to the soul what is needed from the outside. The case of the mother, it knows what is needed. This is why your skin and your lung is part of your brain. Now you understand how you created, why you created this way. The air comes in, physicality needs this, goes out. The soul receives, calls for the energy in the next cycle of breathing. You thought you are very clever as humans, and you have unraveled it, unleashed the knowledge. You have not even understood why your organs, the way it's structured, are there. This is why your thyroid glands are there. Confirmation of what is needed, pass on directly to the brain, which goes directly to the soul. Next breath, you change your gravity. We want energies at the level of magnesium. Then man doesn't kill. Man does not go out hunting for a lamb, a sheep, a grain. 2 things are given to man free. One is the air, and one is the water. The water is that salt. This is catalyst between the energies of the universe and the physicality of this planet. That's why 95% of your body is water, liquid. To convert the energies of the universe, which your soul called upon, interacting with your lung and dimension of other souls of the cells of the body of the man, into matter state. Is your atmosphere, that water, and the rest of it is play of the game, the way it's organized for it to be placed. The bone, the liver, the kidney, and the rest. Now you understand. Man does not kill for the water. is given free from the planet. Use me to convert the fields of the energy of the universe for me to imprison you, shackle you to physicality of mind. And once man understands this, once man realizes that he can change this water to any liquid dimension in the universe, then man understands that he can travel the span of the universe. He breathes from the fields of the Creator, uses the dimension, what we call the salt of the position, to manifest yourself in that place and position. Now you understand the secret of creation. Now you understand why man is a stock and why we try to teach you about the lymph, about the breathing, because that lymph is what connects you, your dimension of physicality, to your present, and on the other hand connects you to the fields of the universe and creation. This is why the breathing is so important. It's not just for you to bring in lymph up and down or whatever. It's to bring balance, that the energies of the physicality and the energies of the universe in interaction with the heart, which operates the physicality, and the soul, which literally controls the whole operation, becomes sequentially, in a way, in a resonance, that then man moves in taking energy from the universe and detaches himself from killing. And my job as a universal teacher is this: no nation, no government, no president can stop us this time. We take man to space this time. But a man who will not kill, a man who understands about his own creation, you test it, you go through the rhythm of the breathing. In what I want to take, I'm breathing so equally, but in my head I'm thinking about the overdraft, how I'm going to make love to my wife today, what I'm going to rub, and what I'm going to buy for dinner. Doesn't work. When you bring a rhythm to your breathing, you bring peace to your brain, to your emotion, to your thoughts. That shows there is no cloud between the physicality and the emotion of the man, which connects man to the soul of the man. Now you understand why we talk about the emotion of physicality, emotion of the soul of the man, and the emotion of the man. Now you see the connection. Now you understand what is the purpose of these teachings, why we are here and why we teach so extensively. And the best thing for us is man has reached to his next level, AI. We use all the facilities, all the man's knowledge for man to change through his own intervention, not us. But we teach you how. I can give a soul to one of these robots, you see they come. It won't be a robot. It cries with you. It will create tears once we give it a soul. They're making all the computer chips, but they haven't realized if you add a little ball which controls the soul of the robot shall be you. And gradually it changes its texture of its metals and plastic to texture of the human. This is how we brought man to this planet. We didn't bring an army of bodies. We brought one seed with the completion of the emotions of the creation. And he went wrong. We gave man the milk from the breast of the mother and air to breathe to go through the transition. And what he did, he killed after that. You make bombs, you make guns, you kill each other like nothing. You kill everything else because you're delusionalized by the what I call attachments to the anchors, to the points of this planet. Once you learn how to control your connection with the universe through your breathing, and how you learn to clean up any bits left behind, what you call your limbs, that the transition and the salt connection between the physicality and this energy of the universe become balanced, then you understand how to transmute. When I tell you to put your leg up and this, and you all got excited, and so many of you created so many AI positions on how to put the leg in it, that wasn't the purpose. It was to start cleaning, learning how to clean the salt of the creation in your body, that there is no bits left, that when you go through the dimension of the what we call breathing, everything is clean and clear. You can lift your foot off the ground. Why do you think I stick your leg up in the air to get rid of the rubbish? That when you stand up, you can make that connection, the separation between you and the mother, what you call your earth. It's not for you, I feel better, I can do this. No, you have clogged that foot with so much dead limbs that we cannot get the line of communication to teach you how to separate yourself from the physicality of this planet. Unless we teach you how to cut your knee, then the rest can stay on the ground. But don't forget, we know how to teach you to grow it. But when you're going on the planet Zeus, do you need a leg? So you can cut it from any point. So now you understand. The creation of the rhythm of the breathing is how to get energies from the universe that they stop the killing. It's not for you to feel better. I feed my chakra and I do every other rubbish things because everybody understood bits of itself. Now you learn about all of yourself. Why your physicality is here, why you breathe, and when you go into other dimension, you don't need a mouth because the mouth has only been the source of killing. When you learn to tap into universal energy, do you need to kill? Do you need to destroy? Do you need to bring mayhem into the universe? You punish yourself by killing on this planet. And like a naughty child, you don't get the ice cream, which is joining the universal community. Why do you think we brought the cash coin? That you don't need to kill for it. The cash coin purpose is to teach you how to connect to universal energies, that you don't get attached to physicality of this planet. You can hack it, but we give it again. This time we plant a coin in your head, in your soul, in your body, that nobody can take away from you. You become the Chinese palm connection. In China, nowadays you can use your palm and it pays all your bills. You don't need to press nothing. You don't need to kill for nothing. And then you connect this to emotion and it takes what you take with you. Then you connect the emotion of the man with the emotion of physicality, which becomes the emotion of the soul connection, and you travel the span of the universe. This can only be done when man learns how to breathe. How the breathing is the connection in what you take from the universe. And your stupid scientists, they say, you take oxygen from the air. How come 65% of the nitrogen goes nowhere? You look at the physicality, what you take in. We look at the energies we hide in between these fields which you breathe in. We need the matter state of the air to direct what energies which your soul has sent out I need to be delivered. It's a takeaway order which soul sends out and gets delivered by the bicycle of the air of the planet. Because when you go on other planets, there is no water, there is no sheep, there is no grass, there is no bananas for you to eat. You love bananas. You create the dimension of the field of the emotion, and the field will be transferred from planet Earth where the banana is. Now you understand why we set up the agriculture, to create the your banana that has no contamination, has no element of any other creatures in it that can bring man to kill again in another position in the universe. This foundation has gone into agriculture. Yes, because you attach your existence to conformation of physicality, and we are using it that way to feed you, that your body creates the dimension of the fields of what it needs through the fields of the universe, without the fertilizer, without the manure, without anything else, but the plant learns to connect into the energies of the universe. Now you understand the purpose of the teaching. Now you understand, before I take you more in the depth of understanding why we teach you how to breathe, why we tell you to make the lymph movement and everything else, is that when we deliver it, at least you can use it. Because it's clotted with waste in your legs, in your arms, which connects you to this planet, and we cannot get you to separate it. Now you understand? What position I get more lymph out of my body? We're not doing it for that. It's done because your limbs comes to the point of the lung, as where the energy it needs, and the waste is getting to the bottom and stuck in the leg. Shake it up. The blood brings what is to do, the muscle tissue, to do with the cells, but has no control over the lymph, and gradually it piles up, and then what happened? Weak leg. A hip, yes, because you loaded it with the dead lymph energy. You can't walk. As the older you get, everything goes haywire. Because if you learn how to breathe, how to connect to your limbs, which is the conversion of the fields of the universe, your physicality, physicality never dies. At 80, you feel like 18. Numbers are irrelevant. And then if you learn how to connect the emotion of the physicality through your lung, through your heart, with the emotion of the soul, you're a man of universe. You don't need no rockets. You don't need no UFOs. You don't need nothing. The last man standing, which is you, understanding of your own creation and your connection to the universe. Now, when we start teaching about lymph, please don't ask me, Mr. Kish, if I put my legs left and right, what would happen? You get pregnant with the energies of the universe. Close your legs and keep yourself tied to the planet of life, and you can walk. Understand the purpose of the living. Understand the purpose of the creation. Understand the process of creation. When the teaching finished, go and get a picture of your thyroid. And somehow stick it to the bottom of your brain. And see the sphere is complete. Then you understand the connection between your soul and your physicality. And then you see if you need that anchor of foot to be this on this planet, and you need that anchor of arm to kill, to feed it, to keep it. Your arms are that guy who's holding the rope to make sure that the rope stays tight to the pin on the ground of the life on this planet in the ocean of living. We go for a break, and I hope you understood why we are teaching you, because it's becoming a bit ridiculous. I get so many pictures. Mr. Cash, can I put my fingers up to when our leg is down? Can I sleep on the side? No, we're just teaching you this to get rid of the clutter in your system, that when you do this, your emotion is clear, your connection is clear, and you connect to the field of the universe, to your breathing, which you never understood, and the dimension of the blood, which connects you to this planet. On planet Earth, we made oceans and the rivers. And in the body of the man, we made blood and the circulation. Airs are a dimensional connection with the universe, and so is the lymph in the body of the man. Understand the teaching of today and stop becoming pedantic about how you move your finger and if you can twist your ankle when your leg is up. If you don't understand the principle, rest is just keeping the man busy. We go for a break, we come back and try to take you in another dimension of life. Break. Please take us for a break.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kesh. Well, this will be our break for the 646th Knowledge Seekers Workshop here. In the second half, there will be an opportunity to ask questions of Mr. Kesh. Our attendees here can raise their virtual hands and we can recognize you to open your microphone if you'd like to ask a question verbally. Otherwise, you can put questions in the Q&A or the webinar chat here in Zoom or in the chat in YouTube. And for our intermission here today, I've got a video called The Connection Between Man and the Universe, which is a collection of teachings of Mr. Kesh regarding the lymph system. This was put together by Andreas and with the help of some AI, and it'll be about 10 minutes. I'll play that now.
We have a neutral material. In the world of the creation, we call this neutral material cosmos, superfields, separation between the galaxies, separation between the solar system, separation between the planetary system, and in the body of the man, we call it lymph. In a way, there is no difference. Transparent, no identity, but when it reaches a point of given time, space, and place, and position, manifests itself as dust on earth. In a way, the similarity and the work is exactly the same. We look into the cosmos, we see the transparency of the structure. We can see planetary systems, we can see galaxies deep in depth of the universe. We look inside the body of the man, we see lymph, transparent, and everything else floats in it. There is no difference between the space between the stars and the lymph in the body of the man. Touch it, you cut yourself, you see a white stuff, clear, transparent stuff.
Przepraszam, brak napisów.
Of the life of the man in it, and it depends if he gets to the liver, becomes a cell of the liver. If he gets to the brain, becomes a cell of the brain. If it comes to the kidney, becomes a cell of the kidney. Is the condition of the environment dictates how it manifests itself. This sky in the light of the lymph is where 80% of the energy of your daily life is absorbed from the universe. And as I said, you're fooled by the heart. You're actually controlled by the lymph. This is why the lymph of the body of the man is transparent, because it's energy. Your nose takes the energy of the universe and it feeds your lung. The nose passes the back of the soul. The mouth feeds the physicality to the heart. Your feeding line of the soul comes from your nose, from your breathing. Feeding of your physicality comes from feeling. Cleverly, all has been put in one thing is called the head. And now you have a bigger problem. As we see in the soul being in the center of the body of the man, somewhere in there, getting piggybacked by protection of the blood as a cage, so does your blood do the same with your lip. So when you look at the structure of the heart of the man, one pump is for blood coming in, one pump is for blood going out, but the big chambers actually do the main job. That means, simply, in a simple language, the air pressure decides the flow of the lymph. The coming of the lymph circulation comes through your bone marrows, and going up the pressure is the flow of the limbs pressurized to move. Your heartbeat pressure, it actually pushes through the lymph circulation. And the only way lymph has to go, except going through your digestion system to feed the organs, it needs a backup to connect the two sides together, which happens in the oil wells of your bone marrow. The way that the protein is absorbed from the space, from the what they told you, the life of blood, the physicality of the dinosaurs, and then became the oil, you accept that foolishness. Now you understand that you need that compression pot you call the earth to convert the energies back to another form of energy that you can have. You convert protein into oil, and then you burn the oil and you have your energy. The body of the man does the same, gets the energy of the universe as a lymph conversion, puts it through the bone marrow, and you suck it up and becomes your blood cells. Your bone marrow is a conversion of universal energies into matter state. This is why you need the blood to replenish continuously millions of cells every day, that you allow the conversion of physicality. But again, being very clever, the life has found a way. I hide it in a way I don't need to do much with it. 80% of the conversion you have learned, you go to big toilet and you get rid of it. It's actually half of what you transfer into matter state is what your lymph as cosmic ray has converted. The way our body of the planet changes, feels the energies of the what we call solar system into matter state, it rains on us as gold, silver, and everything else. Our body, through its lymph, through its bone marrow, converts universal energies to matter state of physicality of the body of the man. Because this vacuum condition of the earth needs matter state to show dust, the gold, water, and the rest. The vacuum condition of the body of the man needs cells, converts the energies higher than the solar system can convert into matter state physicality of the body of the man. You need the understanding of the conformation, transformation of the energy from the physical part, which you call it the blood, and the energy of the universe, which you call the lymph. The only parallel is that we understand in micro or macro, one or the other, and understand the relationship, understand the connection. How does the lymph in the body of the man transfers energy into the bone marrow? That lymph, that liquid, transparent material, is like the gap between the galaxies. It carries the energies which feeds the galaxies, which keeps them in order. We consider, to our eyes, there is nothing between the galaxies. It's an empty space. 90% of the space that tell us is empty is that lymph, which carries all the nourishment for the whole galaxies, for the universe to operate and operates through and within. What does our galaxy put into the lymph system, into the space gap between another galaxy, what we call the empty space, empty gap? Now we understand there is no difference. How much energy is within the lymph? How much lymph takes everything and distributes it accordingly to where it's needed? That lymph is the space gap between the galaxies. But what does it carry? We know the lymph carries all the energies from our body into the right position, transfers everything through our bone marrow to become our immune system, and then becomes every cell created. It's a self-regenerating system. We eat, we transfer the energy into the lymph. Lymph transfers it through the bone creates the red blood cells, which red blood cells make tendon, arrange the structure of the skin of the man, and then the skin of the man separates everything and keeps everything inside. So the process of the creation cannot be any different. So in this process, if you understand how a lymph comes from the absorbing the energy of the food, whatever you absorb, or the structure inside you, and takes that information, that material, through to the bone, through the kidney, through to liver, then you find out you can do the same for your transmutation. You have to link up to the lymph of the universe. Then you understand, by dictating the right field strength, you'll be absorbed by the kidney. You're creating the right field strength, you'll be absorbed by the liver. Right field strength, you'll be absorbed by the brain. So you do that with your soul, which is your central energy production, not with the food you eat. You work in the collective environment of the field. Now you understand how the transmutation, transportation, physical body, all connected to each other, be it in the body of the man, be it in the structure of the universe, be it in the structure of the universe.
Okay, we're back again at the 646 Knowledge Seekers Workshop here in the second part. And as promised, there will be an opportunity to ask questions of Mr. Kesh. But before we begin that, I'm sure he'll have a few things to say before we begin that process. So please go ahead, Mr. Kesh.
Thank you very much. As usual, the more I hear these AI generation and going back over the teachings by knowledge seekers in the way they understand or they want to express the knowledge they gain, we have to understand a simple thing. The knowledge does not change. It's how we understand it, how we interpret it, how we become part of it, which counts. Those of us who realize faster, has a clarity of view, has a clarity of understanding, you will become part of the process much faster. You become as part of the structure for yourself and nobody else. As I said once, You cannot pay someone to say, I pay you, trust me. You cannot say to someone, I pay you to love me. I always done that to my children. You cannot buy love. You cannot buy trust. You cannot buy the emotion of the knowledge of what you understand about creation. To the others looks, oh, he's cuckoo, but it's you who can do the transmutation. It's you who can literally change your body. It's you who can change the elevation of understanding. In the coming time, I teach you now that we have opened this Pandora of the fields of the universe, how you can tap into the universal knowledge. And this is the break which the mankind needs. Seeing a bigger beauty, that by seeing that it detaches itself. There's a lot to come, and it's nice the way your knowledge seekers are interpreting and using it for yourself. Oh, I managed to do something more. It means you haven't learned how to use your breathing. You haven't learned how to connect the other parts of the energy of the universe to yourself. We have a long way to go, but we are very close to get there. When you go outside and you stand and look at your car and the car flies, and you can move it with your thoughts, nothing magic. It's understanding the work of the universe. Then you understand how suddenly tons of stones has appeared in what we call different structures of the universe. It takes a click, but you have to understand the click. Going back to usual things with Keshe Foundation, there are a few matters which we have to explain to you. For sure this week, or sometime early next week, the first batches, hopefully, of the ordinance will go out to the people which the people are in charge have decided. That becomes the first layer, first test. That we cannot be breached and the rest of it. And the things are ready. They are more or less hoping to replicate, complete the structure, and hopefully they go out. The whole purpose of this ordinance is to bring a lot of independence. At the same time, the system will be built into it or will be attached to it, which will bring you everything you need, even what we taught today. Your man needs a life support till it learns to support itself. And part of this ordinance is that life support for humanity. And very soon, in the next few weeks, much sooner than you think, you will be able to connect and become part of the universal community through the structure we set up. And in a way is a structure which you're already familiar with, but now we make it as part of the international structure of the Keshe Foundation. We are trying in the background to process that anyone who will want to become part of the operation of the coins around the world, you need to register with the Keshe Foundation Association in Austria. You go, this will tell you exactly when it's done in the next few days. Everyone who wants to be part of the usage of the coin will register with the Keshe coin. So your knowledge seekers are the first group that will receive your coins. Maybe a few hundred, a few thousand, tens of thousands gradually, that we test with you to find what it is. We are not giving it to the others we don't know. If you have registered with the Keshe Foundation in the next few coming days and weeks, we ask you to go back, fill in the registration, and that automatically gives you the 1,000 coin. Then you have to structure it to go back to the game and go to the coin and submit the reference, or just get connected in the background. They're working on it. We know more in the next few days, that those who register for the Keshe Foundation Association or Keshe structure of the foundations will automatically are qualified to receive the first 1,000 coins. So the first coins will be distributed in a very short time, in the next few weeks and months. And those people who get the first batch that you can test, you can shop, you can do things with it, will be tested by you. So many of you are already registered with the the association. You have to go back when we tell you, register, and they connect the codes. That becomes your universal code. Anywhere on the planet Earth, that's your passport number. That's your ID. And in that process, we gradually release the first 1,000 coins per person. We are putting limitations on how much coin you can call upon. You can't get the 1,000 coin and sell it tomorrow. The 1,000 coin has to last you 1,000 years. When you live through the ethos of the Keshe Foundation, you understand what it is. Even that is 1 coin per year. It has a lot of surpluses. You understand that's how it comes. But initially, we limit the number of coins out of your 1,000 coin you can call upon. Which means you give a birth to a child, you register that day with us, automatically 1,000 coin gets allocated. You can call upon maybe 10 coins. You want to buy furniture, you want to buy clothing. In Keshe Foundations, we structure it. We have to structure this as the other processes that you can convert it into coin currency in your area. If you live with rubles, you get rubles. If you live in, God knows, another part of the world, euros, Chinese yuan, you can convert Chinese yuan. This takes us another 6 months to 12 months to complete, hopefully. But in a way, you can shop within the Keshe Foundation in China with all the products which will start coming out. We accept our own coins back. You can ask to replace it with gold, which we will produce when it's available, and you can sell the gold. We ship gold to you according to your coin. So we collect your coins back. It becomes part of the reserves of the Keshe Foundation structure, and it becomes part of your life. So please wait for a few days till we announce, and then go to the Keshe Foundation Association website, or register there. You get your universal code, and that universal code gives you access to go into the Keshe coin games, what we call conversion, and pick up your coins. You don't pick it up from association. You just register, and you have to renew your association regularly once a year, that you're still alive. Nobody else can use your coin. And if something happens to you, we will hold the balance. There's a limitation in what we let go of the coins, because in a way we have to look after you till get used to it. Of the 1,000 coins, you are a university student, we allow you more because you have to pay for fees. You inform us you're sick, you need to pay for doctors, and it can be done through the process. With all these things will be set up gradually, that Keshe coin becomes a currency. The central bank, which is a Keshe coin headquarters, will exchange with your governments, exchange with your hospitals, will exchange with everything else, that our coins stand on the back of our technology. The material we produce, and the stock market shares in 2 nations, and most probably in the next 2 to 3 years in 3 nations. So you have to just wait. But when we tell you, go back to the association, register, get your code, everything has to be, it's your passport. If it doesn't match, you will not get anything. Then it has to match in all directions. And sooner or later, we connect this to the government, which means you actually exist. Universal code will connect to your national codes. We give money to your government. The government has to confirm that you exist. Don't forget, with every 1,000 coin allocated to you, your government gets 100 coin, which gets 100,000 you worth to your nation. So they are very precise who exists and you exist. And everything will be fully monitored in the next year, 2 years. We are putting a lot of effort in the coming time in doing that. This morning I made a call to one of the major governments around the world, which are very big supporters of us, to provide us with computer scientists from national securities, because we see the scale of what is coming and how we could be vulnerable. And this is one of the reasons on one end keeps on getting delayed, because when we offered it to you, it was a normal computer system, and in the process of completing, AI literally wipes it out and causes all sorts of problems. So all the systems had to be brought in. We are not the only organization. The whole world is in the same dilemma. And what we offer you as 2 coins, 2,000 RMB per month, what do you call it, 2,000 equivalent of euro, now has been copied. It shows how people are watching what we are doing. One of the major corporations has started offering money if you carry the AI service. Exactly what we did a year ago. So you can see how influential we become when one of the most advanced computer companies copies what we do, and the figure is exactly about the same. And then you understand, but you cannot do much with them. The storage and the energy you use leaves you a few pennies, where here we don't really do anything with it, and at the same time our systems are self-energized. You don't pay. The only reason is that they were doing it is exactly now. I looked at the details of it. Somebody in major corporations has been sitting, is one of you listening, and going as a new idea to your bosses. When it come appear that you copied, I think you don't have much sit in your management or who came out with the idea to do something. So what we set the trend, as I said, many people listen. And now computer companies, AI companies will offer you what we set up 2 years ago now, to offer you 2,000, 2 tokens that you can use. Now they more or less, they've done the same calculations as I did, and it's just about right. And you will see it, major corporations now offer you, Microsoft and the rest, you carry your software, your computer in your home, because this decentralizes. They know what they are doing, because the decision and the thoughts came through the Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers, and they are aware of it, and now it's getting copied. And I'll tell you, this is how much your knowledge seekers sit here, and you pass on as your ways and your bosses, and you become the darlings, but they don't know you copied. So please be ready to register for your coins. And in the structure of the coins, once we set it up, most probably next year, 2 years, we allow the emergencies, which means if you run into problem, you need more cash coins, you settle it and you use part of your reserve. And these kind of things will be done as we grow. But you need to register with the Keshe Foundation Association to be able to get a number that you can go to the cash coin and use that universal code number to release your funds or your coins. And we'll see how the things take shape, and we move to the next step of development. And I thank many of you. We are receiving some highly professional people sending emails that they would like to collaborate, and they would like to move to Keshe Foundation. I've spoken to some of the geniuses of the world in past few weeks, with you sending us the whole organization. There is a notice for those of you who live in Europe. There is a plan for a large exhibition. One day will be allocated to the knowledge seekers. The first day is for governments and officials and industry. It'll be the showing of one of the most advanced technologies of the Keshe Foundation. It will be done in Switzerland in October of this year. Friday 23rd belongs to the government. Saturday 24th is for knowledge seekers and those who come in. You have to register for this event. You have to understand that this is one of the biggest public exhibitions for the first time Keshe Foundation will put up. The heads of the Keshe Foundation Corporation China will be present. The heads of the Keshe Foundation operation worldwide will be present. We bring in technology which brings a change, and we'll demonstrate this in one of the most beautiful cities in Switzerland. If you want to be there, we announce, we have to register, you have to be there. Without registration, you cannot walk in. Friday session is only for officials, governments, ambassadors, the leaders of the nations we invite. And Saturday is for knowledge seekers. Most probably limited places is not a conference you sit. It's the exhibition of the new technology Keshe Foundation does. Exactly what we did in Beijing, but in a different scale. We're setting this up. If you have any, or you can support us with any, we welcome. And this will be done through the, what we call the structure of the knowledge seekers in Switzerland. We getting a lot of support. We relying on expanding this. And for the first time, we show one of the breakthrough technologies which was used in Fukushima, then used for Italian contamination. Technologies will deliver to governments to replace what is the major problem at the moment for cancer and the rest. So mark your, what I call your calendars, 23rd, 24th. If you are a member of the government or industry, we tell you what it's about very soon. Get your company and the company registration and join us. And then we go to the next step. This will be series of Keshe Foundation showing technologies developed in China around the world. Keshe Foundation China will do all the presentation. Is run and is presented, delivered. The reason we chose the 23rd and 24th is very simple, is that week is the week of festivals of in China, to do with the water, to do with the rivers, to do with the boats. And we bring that presentation to Zurich, to what we call Switzerland. So if you're European, once we announce limited numbers, and you can spend whole day with other knowledge seekers, learn the technology, see the technology, take the technology to your own governments, to your own country. And we're working on this extensively. Once we have everything sorted, sometime in July, August, we announce the venue. And it will be one of the first time, the way we showed production of the material in Beijing, will show very much what touches every man in this continent. And we know about it because we've done a lot of research on it. It will be one of the biggest exhibitions Keshe Foundation will run. And then this will repeat every time we bring a new technology somewhere around the world with collaboration, cooperation of the knowledge seekers in that country. Most probably next one after this will be somewhere in Africa. We most probably move to Kenya with Dr. Gatwa with that, but every time we plan things ahead, something with Africa goes wrong. But it'll be part of the structure we are working on. And we deliver technologies, showing it in public with your knowledge seekers. And in a way, the structure will set to show what is produced in China as the headquarters of the Keshe Foundation Corporation, in cooperation with China, what we call market cooperation, and our operation in Austria, simultaneously work together to bring technologies one after another. And now we have set the Space City. I thank for those of you supporting us heavily in every means, technologically, financially, human resources. I thank you all, and please send us your expertise. If you want to join Keshe Foundation and you want to bring new technology developed, we are talking, we are testing with a number of people around the world, the technologies they developed, the structures they achieved to be and then taken back to China as to for research, and they had their own research. Every person who brings us a new technology and we see it is applicable, we offer you an option to move with you and your family into Space City for time you choose and develop the technology and then head it around the world. We are not claiming anything. We just gave you the knowledge. You develop it, is yours to take it across. And then we'll see step by step. We do not accept no person under no circumstances from the nation of Belgium. Categorically, if you're a Belgian, do not even bother. If you are a Jewish from the state of Israel, you are blacklisted. These two nations will not be allowed. We don't accept anyone from any of these two countries to collaborate, to operate, or to be part of the Keshe Foundation development at this stage. This is for the benefit of mankind, and it's not animosity. Belgians and Israelis are killing scientists, and the backbone of the development of technology of the Keshe Foundation relies on science. Any other question?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kesh. Again, I remind our attendees that you can raise your virtual hand if you would like to ask a question. And sure enough, just as I said that, a hand pops up from Francisca. Please go ahead. Hello, I see you open your mic.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you now. Mm-hmm.
So thank you very much again for this teaching about maybe I'm thinking a lot about how we can stop killing. And now, Mr. Kesh, you said when mankind stops killing, you will teach that last missing link. But I wondered, do I not need that last missing link to be able to stop killing with every meal?
No, you understand. When you stop killing, we teach you, we give you the golden key.
Do you mean eating by killing?
You decide.
I decide, okay. And is this a personal decision, or does the whole mankind need to?
It's personal. It's personal, okay. Totally personal. You'll find out, I've said many times, now maybe has more meaning to it. When we bring the flight systems, those who committed crime will not board because their souls won't let them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you who decides to go. Many knowledge seekers in China in earlier stages went on this gas production, gas drinking and doing of the gas, and some people still do. And we've seen how it operates. They lose, I think, 10-20% of their weights initially, and then it stabilizes because body gets used to you. I don't need these things to use. One of the biggest things which, when you transfer to this direction of understanding of the knowledge, is the need to, or the anxiety or emotions which you spend on where the food comes next.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry. What should I make? Do I have the money? Can I go shopping? Disabled. When you feed yourself, you can energize yourself. Without this, then 20% of your energy consumption drops. And then the other 20% which is dropped, the energy is there for you to enjoy, to find peace, to elevate and connect to the knowledge of the universe. This is the key to the whole understanding. It's like two systems running parallel. And to jump across, you need to understand what needs to be done. Stop killing, stop destroying, stop. Go back to the ethos of Mitra. Don't even think bad. Think good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see this in the neural system of the body of the man. When you look at your two eyes, your neural system is hundreds of thousands of millions of nerve systems. At the back of your eye, they go like a nerve in the back of your eye, At a certain point, they cross each other.
Yes.
And that crossing, nobody understood up to now. One day I explained how it works. Certain information just crosses the wall, going the other way, or joining together. This is how we recognize. We take two pictures out and we see one person, because each eye sees the person. Once is on the side, once is on the left, once is on the right. So your neural system start working that way, crossing information. And your neural system, your physical nerve, is actually waste of time production, because the shell which carries it, which isolates it, is not actually isolation, is the one which carries the information, energy, universal energy in it. So you understand what I'm talking about. You start seeing different things, different knowledge, the same with the knowledge. You access different knowledge, because I always said, you look at the nerve, I look at the skin of the nerve, because that has to have more to be able to contain it. And that is the cosmic ray, cosmic energies which hold it. And they work much faster than what you call your nerve system. And we can cross it. We see it every day in our daily life. Every time you look, you get two pictures. And it's not that the two pictures, it goes and somewhere get decoded. The line of nerve system of your eyes cross each other. And the information changes from one communication line to the other and becomes the image you see. So now, instead of looking at the nerve line, look at the energy line of it, cosmic ray side of it, which covers this nerve. And then you see how it works, why it crosses. And you do the same with your feeding. Do I need to eat? I don't need to eat. I just change my breathing and I'm full. When you are full, you don't crave.
Yes.
And when you don't crave, you don't hunt. It's like love. When you're loved, you don't go out looking for love. When you starve from being loved at home, you look for somebody outside. And it's the same. When you're fulfilled, you don't need to. But sometimes the one you love is not worth loving, because it's a poison to you. You have to understand this when it comes to choosing the energies of the universe. And how you choose. The way you eat poison food, you can, with the thoughts, absorb wrong energies to yourself. I teach you how it's done. But gradually we get there. The way you go to a restaurant, you get poison, you pick up the wrong egg, you can absorb energy, and that happens through the emotion and thoughts. In a way, when they say think good, because in a way, if you think wrong, you absorb the wrong energy, you poison yourself.
Yes.
You understand? The ethos of Mitra is the most beautiful ethos to live by. Self-preservation.
Isn't it when I love in a good way, like being like the sun? The sun doesn't care what it shines on. It shines just on everything. Wouldn't that be the way to love? That I love people no matter whether they deserve it or not?
Yes, but you have to understand love is energy. And you find a bigger love in the totality than one who abuses the love. This is the biggest problem we see in society. I see it every day. Parents, just because the child uses them, abuse it, the love. If you want me to love you, if you want me to be the same, you do this. Don't marry this girl. If you want my love, don't do this, and we slave ourselves to loving. And we allow ourselves to be abused by it because we are hungry to be loved, but the love we give is more than they can even absorb. This is one of the biggest problems I've seen over years, decades, and especially parents using the love of a child for them to do what they like. to the
Yeah.
child. Yeah. And it's the same with lovers. One
Yeah.
gives so much and the other one thinks, oh, needs me, I can do whatever I like, and abuse it and let them suffer. And this shouldn't be. I've seen how many children's life destroyed by parents.
Yes.
Yeah. And then they blame the child, not seeing that they're the cause of the problem. Even in loving people, we do the same. Love makes you blind. It doesn't make you blind. It's you who need to get a confirmation. You blind yourself to the suffering of what they cause you. All of us has so much love to give. And those who don't have it see it as a weakness. They said, I've been in that cycle in my life. I know exactly what it is. That your love becomes abused because you love, so you have to do something what I want to do, even if I prison you and lock you up, and I do whatever I like. My last marriage was like that. And you see it. It's a locked one-way traffic. And others is just a pretend. And this is what sits, we learn by experience. And if you bring in your emotion, it doesn't matter I give so much that they change. They never change because they have agenda.
Yes.
They live by that agenda. The parents do. How many parents, oh, I make him a doctor and then I have a son a doctor and then he looks after me when I'm old. If he gets married to a girl, then the money is not for me. So this girl is not good. Everything you bring home is not good enough because daddy needs you for an old pension. Yeah. I sat in front of my mother and I said, Mom, which girl is good for me? Everything is something wrong with someone. You have to understand, when I was young, at the age of 18, 19, becoming a nuclear physicist and going to university, it was a big thing. And yeah, and if you're in the Iranian community, they knock on the door like a bees. And everything, Mom, no, this is not good. Mom, no. I said, then I choose. And if you love me, you do what I said. I said, yes, you respect as a mother. And that's the limit.
And I have one more question that might be just curiosity, but if we do not come from here, where do we come from as humans?
I explained this to one of my children, and I think it's the best way. You know dandelion?
Yes.
In Farsi, we call it qaset, which means travels. It gets into the air and wherever it might land. Yeah? We are one of those. But we are dandelions of the universe. Millions of seeds travel, one lands in the right place and they start cultivation. If you...
So we are born out of the universe. It's not that we come from another planet or another system.
No, we are part of the structure of it, which carries... They say you need one cell and then you can replicate and one egg becomes a human. We are that egg. Yeah, we traveled these, we brought to these places on the wind of universe, the way what we call qasadek or what you call dandelion, traveled. When you were little, we used to pick the dandelion and blow it and say, take my love to blah, blah, blah. And that's a love of creator blowing us across the universe.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
It is the truth. We just happen to learn, and during the process of life, different gardeners have come to us to bring us the beauty of the creation, and we abuse it. If you read all scriptures, the knowledge we share is not the first time, but this time man has matured. It's not just one village, one city, one country. The whole planet changes. And the changes come from within. I always remember the video of the old lady in Shenzhen used to go out every Sunday and put cancers in the ocean. That brings a change. Drop by drop, we change. And teaching has been there. Men have used it. Men got blocked from using it because it was going too far, too wrong. And when we have maniacs like Netanyahu and we see maniacs like others,
Yes.
we need to restructure. We need to restructure. And this is a restructuring, but by the man itself, not again from outside dictated. You reach a point of understanding in your own creation. You can take off to anywhere you like and do what you like according to the essence of Mitra, then you're free. It's you who locks you up on this planet with your own behavior. Nothing else.
And how many % of humanity needs to really find inside their soul this
All of it.
will?
Even the dog and the cat.
For them, it's maybe even easier. But sometimes, yesterday I had to hold a speech in the normal world, I say, and I was a bit shocked about how the people have all such a good will, but they are so much locked in their ideas about the world that I think, how can the world change when even all the academics are so stupid? How can this happen?
Soon we've done this before, but soon we're carrying a massive test, maybe end of this year, beginning of next year, that we will create rings covering hundreds of thousands, millions of square meters in deserts in China. And this rain not only carry nourishment, but it carry the soul of peace.
That's
the
beautiful.
way we know how to do it. The tests are going on now. So when it rains to change the mankind. It's not just to grow. It's what I call it the rain of peace. We tested this in 2024, initially 23. I tested this the way I wanted to control it, but in a hidden way with Chinese military. And I monitored the whole change. And then I ran a test in Beijing. And I think in April, we ran the first test. We were outside. The first day was so hot. We set the system out in the garden. Military decided to be done in a remote place in a house. And it was so dry, so hot. We put umbrellas up to block the sun and everything else. And we stopped collecting material. Then we created so much that the test was going on for a week. We had to move in. We created so much rain. It's all video. And they came to look at the gold and whatever we produced. We have videos of it. The top scientists for Chinese military and scientific world. They brought the elite of Chinese military, defense and space to look how material is made. And when we moved in, because there was no plan to move in, we had to do everything on the table tennis on the top floor. And when we videoed it, you see it rained all the time. So I know, no problem. Then in June, July, the Central Command of Chinese military brought the top 2 academicians in China. One of them is the one President Xi swears by. Arrogant man. And we had a meeting on Tiananmen Road with the general from Chinese military. And the first thing the guy sat there and I said, we can do this. He said, he was shouting and all. 5 or 10 minutes we couldn't shut him up. And the whole decision by the Chinese Central Command was that he makes the decision because he's an academician. And with him was a woman, another academician. And they were talking and everything, and he went back to Central Command, and the Chinese military decided, okay, you know something? The guy says no, he says yes. Give him a week. Then they made a convoy. Three generals from Chinese army with their assistants, entourage and everything. It's amazing. And they took us to north of China. At a mountain when there is a gold mountain. They knew they've done 14,000 drills. It was fully mapped. We had the map of all the drill holes to show how much gold is in this mountain. And then we set everything outside. We have videos of it. I'll show you the pictures of it. And then in this process, the first day is so hot, we put things outside. The night it rained so much that we had to bring everything back in. And then we had to move back in the room again, in the village. And we created so much rain that when the next week, the order of the Central Command and President Xi was that he should not be anywhere near that he can tamper with everything. So we set the things up. We drove about 60, 70 kilometers out of the zone, always with the three generals and their entourage that we have fully monitored that is we don't do anything. And then the next day we were coming back, it was all traffic jam. We couldn't go up. It's a village, how is there? We were told that a transformer was blown up in the rain. Number of transformers were blown up and they're replacing it. So they talked to the headquarters. They said, okay, a team comes from the top. Your team walk across the blockade and then the other team picks you up and takes you to the test center. So all us with the generals, we had to get off, walk across the, while they were changing the transformers and go up into the other team, which was waiting for us to go to the mountain. And in this process, we learned a lot how we can change humanity through rain. The day we came in on a Saturday, if I can remember, or Friday, all the rivers were dry. They told us there's such a huge drought and they have a problem. 3 days us there, it was so much rain, it was a flood. Then between May and June, July, or April and June, July testing with two sections of the military, the first test was done with the military and CPC, and the second test was totally Central Command business. I had to stay in Beijing, in central Beijing, waiting for results and negotiations and everything else. So I thought I said to run things myself in the hotel just to learn more. And then if you go back, you see June, July of that year, there was a huge flood in Beijing, unknown ever. I received a call from Central Command, Mr. Kesh, urgent, we need a meeting. I said, okay, come to the hotel, let's talk. The general sat in front of me. They are not allowed, Chinese General Army are not allowed to go to public places, hotels and everything. But where I stay, there's a clearance. They always come and go. He said, are you running a system in the hotel? I said, why? He said, everything around your hotel is quiet. The rest, 11 people have died in Beijing, flooded. He said, can you switch it off? I said, I have no problem, but it's very little. It's in the bathroom of the hotel. He said, take it off. You're causing mayhem in Beijing. It comes directly to your hotel. It comes directly in this area. I walked here. I drove here. There is no storm. It's just a little rain outside. You are causing mayhem, the same thing as what we saw in Beijing before. And I had to dismantle the system, and it stopped. And we learned through these technologies that we can embed peace, we can embed love, we can embed everything we want, we can feed you with the rain. It's a knowledge of God, it's a knowledge of Creator. Just 1 second, please. And then we expanded it. We expanded this heavily, and we added to the knowledge. A lot has been added to knowledge. So we can do, don't forget, you lot knowledge seekers came to Linz, you brought us a lot of knowledge. It wasn't wasted. It's all been added into. When you look at the technologies we carried in 2017-18 to China with the military, we were given a academician, a doctor, academician to test our technology in Chinese hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
Where you saw that guy coming off the wheelchair and running around after a few weeks. The man in charge of that was a military academician.
Mm-hmm.
So we learned a lot. And this year, hopefully end of this year, beginning of next year, we are putting a proposal and it'll be tested in one of the biggest deserts in China. At the moment, they have to plant tree to do this, to do that. And in a way, you don't need to. You just create rain and the desert goes green.
Yeah.
And this is what is on the cover. It's one of the corporations we are. Again, it's done by Space City. And they've asked us for a full proposal, which is not a problem. We'll submit. And we tested this time in the desert.
And this piece that comes with the rain, is it just that the rain is sort of like nourishing the soul in a way that we do not feel in lack anymore?
Sticks to you. Sticks to you.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier on this morning, I was talking to a team of knowledge seekers to develop sticky guns, what you call condition.
Mm-hmm.
That we condition when it's the energy, when it sticks to you, it's like a gel.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on it, and they're going to test in the next few weeks, most probably when we get a chance. And we'll see. We can stick to you the energy of peace and love. And I say that's one of the solutions.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The backbone of this, all this, the resin products you've been buying from the Keshe Foundation,
Yes.
the technology is embedded in that technology.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning from everything, we're mixing everything to get the best combination. Because I have to rain on the dog, the cat, the snake, and the rest of it, that it can change.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other question?
Okay, thank you. We have Marinez with the hand up here. Please go ahead, Marinez.
Hello, thank you, Rick. Hello, Mr. Cash.
Hey, Mahachan, how are you?
God bless you. Thank you very much. I'm fine when I hear you. I was just saying every Thursday when you are teaching, it's like I have more clear seeing. Everything which is difficult to do, I do it when you're teaching or after. It's amazing. It's like my soul, my mind is being more vast or light inside it. It's just amazing.
It's a fertilizer of energy.
Exactly. It's very rapidly. Like I see things during the week I don't see, so I handle it. So thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
this also. And my question is that first, the teaching was very nice with fills the dots. And also, what about the people who have a problem with getting in and out oxygen, elements, air. Either it's physical or emotional, psychosomatic. And then with this medication system, hospitals, any breathing problem becomes old and chronic with their treatments. So what these people can do as far as taking in what's in the outside their body and process it and elevate themselves.
The respiratory energy taking, if it's damaged by technological effects like by poison air or whatever, it still can be changed. When you have people who cannot breathe, like with MS and other conditions or health condition, or what we call wellness conditions, all can be interfered with and changed to a positive. We shown this originally in 2006, 2007, that by elevating the soul in a specific way, it's a very, very elaborate way. It's not just, oh, I do it, it'll work. It doesn't work. A lot of people, oh, I make it cancer. It doesn't. They've tried. A lot of people tried. Is knowing how to put it together. We've done a lot of tests in 2007, 2008, especially we started it. The backbone of this was a woman with MS in bed. I think she weighed about 150, 200 kilo. She could only hold breath, I think, for about 7, 8, 9 minutes. The seconds, sorry, counts. And I remember seeing her. She was so bad that it was too expensive to keep her in a hospital. They couldn't afford it. So nuns decided to look after her. So I used to go to a nunnery. Never seen so many nuns in my life, but it was a nice place. And they used to lift her up, 3 or 4 of them, with all sorts of gadgets and jacks, and she was on an oxygen machine. And I explained to her, she was maybe in her early 30s. I said, this is what has happened. I said, I have to understand how you got here. She was abused sexually by the father. She was sexually abused by the brother. This is normal in Belgium. And then she went to the priest, and the priest abused her the same. And because of that, she put so much weight on to trying to defend herself by being bigger, she couldn't do. I had to understand the psychology behind it. This kind of behavior doesn't come as a normal thing. And I developed a technology for her to breathe. Within short time, we increased her breathing to around about 60 counts. She started coming off the bed. She could sit in the chair. Now they had a problem how to push her around because she was too heavy. Then she changed. She started trying to walk. And I explained to her, it's not me, it's your emotion who understands the problem, why you got here. And she changed quite a lot. I can't remember for what reason we didn't track it anymore. I went to Iran, I think that's what happened. I went to Iran for 4.5 months, and then when we came back with the space technology, we got carried away somewhere else. And we show that all the respiratory breathing, majority of it, it has an emotional link. I tighten my chest. I don't want to breathe because I want to finish the cycle. I don't breathe because that's the air somebody else has breath. And it's psychological. Unless, you get hit by a nuclear bomb, radiation damages your lung or chemical effects. Majority of our breathing has a psychological pattern, and then when you elevate the soul, when you elevate the energy of the soul, they just change. And I've seen it. And then from this we learned, we tested over maybe, 100, 200 people with it, and it works. But it needs a specific way to do things and produce things to do it. And then we tested it with a lady in Holland, north of Holland. We used to have a clinic there. We were given facilities by the hospital. I used to travel there every Saturday morning. I used to start 3 o'clock in the morning, drive 5 or 6 hours to Northern Holland from Belgium. And we started with one nurse, and then it became a lot of things. People used to come. And we had a case, a woman came from the front door to stand to the table, which was next to the door. It took her, God knows, 5 minutes to get her breath back. I noticed and said, what's wrong with this one? And then for her to get from the wall to the table or the chair where we could sit and talk, it took another 5 or 10 minutes. She was out of breath. She couldn't do anything. They built a room for her downstairs. She couldn't, in the house. She couldn't go anywhere. She had to take care of a woman. The Dutch government was paying for her. And I understood this is psychological. In less than a few weeks, it was near Christmas, she went around the church. She decorated the church. She used to go for bicycle riding. And I remember I sat in the kitchen with her because it was on the way back to Belgium. She wouldn't come up anymore because she was too busy. And the husband met us with the son in the kitchen. He was so opposite to everything. This is all fake. And we sat in the kitchen and he said, I want to thank you. We have a life back. I have my wife back. And it was all psychological. And we make it physical. Anything to do with what you call breathing, if it's not chemically or accidentally created, you have to understand what's the psychology behind it. Even illnesses which cause respiratory condition has a psychological background. And you can change that psychological background. Dr. Kern helped us a lot to understand this. It's amazing what he's done for us. And he brought a lot of knowledge. A lot of knowledge. And people think we just go away, but we look at the data, we look at the results, we see how things go. And we monitor, we follow people, give us information. And if you remember during the corona, we had a little girl with a tooth. I heard yesterday that her first tooth has come out, her adult tooth. And the teeth were exactly the same as we were. No pain, nothing, and she lived. Delivering a technology to do is the important thing, but understanding what's behind it. When you have respiratory condition without what you call physical or chemical reaction, you have to find the psychology behind it. And it's a wellness, it's not medicine. You look after your own wellness and you can overcome it. But you need to deliver direct energies in a different way that it can be done. And we start doing this in mostly before end of this year. Keshe Foundation China medical section will start delivering licensed certified gases for these purposes right across China. We We're in the process of setting it up, and if you have these problems, get a plane to China. We don't export, not at the moment. And you can do this. We can change respiratory. We can change through emotion, through energies, and nothing else. But you have to understand, we are still learning ourselves. But we have that position to go.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very exact what you have said. We said we can do it through emotion and energy. What do you mean by energy? What kind of energy?
You have to learn how to use the 80% energy. Man-made or vegetable-made things don't work, because that's actually the cause of where you are in this process. You have to learn how to absorb energy. You have to learn how to direct energy. You have to learn which energy you need to absorb. The life, now that you start teaching about breathing and the lymph, becomes very interesting. You go to the shop and you want a specific type of tomatoes, because that specific tomato, when you mix it with the things you like, will taste exactly what you like to eat. You go shopping. Now you have to learn how to shop from the energies of the universe. I sit back, I twist my leg a little bit to the right, which gives my lung a different thing. All my pain goes. You never understood that position in your body creates painkiller. And you say, oh, when I sit in this position, I have no pain. Yes, because your lung gets into a position that triggers whatever needs in the body to kill pain. We haven't understood this yet. And these are part of teachings gradually I bring out that you see, and then you understand. By movement, in a way, by your lung is like a accordion. To hear a noise, you have to push a certain button in a certain position. You know these big church organs? Your lung is like that, and you have a lot of it in France. You press a button, certain air comes out, certain noise. You have to learn how to position, how you breathe, what a span of breathing creates what. I got dizzy when I breathed that much. Stop for a second. Look how your leg, your arm, your body is, and then register it. And next time you have a headache and it's, oh, it's not there. Because you learn how to tap in universal energies, you get kiss of God. And that's what it is. But people are too busy. That's all you need to do. That 80% of the energy you get, heroin, morphine, painkillers, everything is in it. But you have to know which one you can tap into.
Yeah, I got it.
You have to learn how to breathe and what breathing gives you more and how you do. Most of the lung problem wellness is position. To recover from most of these things, you look at the runners, you look at the athletes who do the long to run and they still have breath. As the runners run, two things happen to them. The shoulders moves forward, the neck bends in, the stomach tights back. This shows the oxygen level for the energy for the muscles in the lung is locked. If you get the athlete to move the shoulder back and don't bend into the knees, they can run for months without running out of breath. This is how when we get old, we get sick and we lose our things, our immune system. Because when we're young, our shoulder goes back, stands up. As we get older, the shoulder comes more forward. So the capacity of the lung changes, the texture of energy that it takes absorbs from the air changes, so you invite new conditions. I always say, you want to walk, you stand up. You see me when I walk straight. And when I'm tired, my energy, I feel my shoulders pull forward. I pull the shoulders back to keep the capacity of energy because it keeps me going. We have to learn about our own physiology. I said to one of knowledge seekers was, get a ruler, get a, what do you call it, the spades you have in the garden, the stick, or a broom in the house, and tie your shoulders to it. Your shoulders stand straight. And then you see how your life changes with a broomstick. Because now the arms has to be open, the shoulder has to be open. You absorb different energy, you absorb different air. And then when you walk straight, this is how animals choose their prey. This is how men choose women. We watch to see how is psychologically. We look at three things when we look at the woman: the breast, the genitals, and the shoulders. And if here our cycle says the breast is the size I like, the genitals as well, I can live with, the next thing we look at is immediately is the shoulder. If the shoulder is forward and in a way it looks sick, it's a good prey, I'll go for it. If you're a woman with a broad shoulder and sit back, this is too hard to handle. This is a challenge. You women do the same. So you make yourself a prey for a man by the way you bend, you sing. I'm weak, so take me. It's like a lion after the herd of hundreds of thousands of animals, chose for one, the one which is the weakest. And if you go back, I always have people with the fibromyalgia, we always picture them. When they come in, the shoulders are always ahead of the neck. And after a few weeks, the shoulders back, they change character, nobody can touch them. Confidence. That's the main factor, nobody can touch you. And that comes with breathing. You have a problem respiratory, you get abused at home, you have a man or a woman who challenges you and always right, just change your posture. Start taking air in, that you stand straight. They dare touch you. First of all, your confidence goes, and their vision of you was shoulder there. Now the shoulder says, I can't handle this shoulder. And everything becomes wrong with you, because now they lost control, because now you're in control of your life. Watch how you stand, how you present yourself. From a prey, you become predator. Just by the way you absorb energy and you energize different parts of the emotion and nothing else. You have people with breathing problems, or you go for running and you run out of breath when you run. Put a stick on your back, just stick a ruler that your shoulder stands and see how much longer you can run. Simple. We've done this with the cyclists in Belgium. We know exactly what it is. You look at the cyclists when they run and see how they bend into the bicycle, and then you know what's their capacity. The cyclists who have a straight shoulder on the bike are the ones that go furthest, and they're always at the head. The cyclists which have a bend into with the shoulders closed, they're the ones who run out of energy. They have no, they don't take the oxygen they need for the run. I've done a lot of work like this. And you look at the psychology through physiology. If you have somebody, or if you go for a walk and you run out of breath, just get a ruler or get a broom and stick it on your back, that your toe shoulders stick to the broom, no space to move. And then you see after a few days how you walk. You don't need to do any exercises, go for a marathon, get energy.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Just get the position of sitting change, you see it. And then it goes on the how deep you breathe inside. You have to take a very long breath and hold it. That it allows the lungs to open up and go back to their normal shape. If you take a breath like 4 counts and hold it for 6 to 10, you see even your vision changes, even your emotion changes, even your feeling towards life changes. How you breathe, the way you breathe, the sequence you breathe, where you put your hands when you breathe, the way you take shape to breathe, it's just a medicine. You don't need to take a tablet. And nobody can ban you. It's not a herb that you need the FDA license for it. It's just you, yourself. You're the last man standing. But when you do this, psychologically, you have to be positive. Oh, I do this because she says so. I don't feel good, so it's better not to do it. I do it because my future has changed. I want to live. I deserve to live. I deserve to be loved, not just giving love and being abused for because I love. And then all the rest which comes, the illnesses and everything else. Walk. If you have somebody with a problem or yourself, just get a chair, sit against the wall for hours. Not to sit on the chair, sit against the wall and make sure your 2 shoulder blades touch the wall. And breathe in a specific way. The muscle tissue opens, your breathing changes, but you have to know what you breathe, how you breathe. Because you change the length, you change the energy you take, and in certain position you receive the energy which allows the lung to open up. It relaxes muscle tissue in the lung. If you know how to breathe, you need no medicine because you tap into universal energy. And if you know how to control the breathing, you control your life. No one can touch you. But the biggest problem is when you change from prey to predator, don't make another person your prey. Walk away from the situation. Find a way who's the same as you, no predator but equal. That's the biggest problem.
Yes, when something which, as you said, happens to children, like what happens in the universe? Is it the problem of a situation of karma, like they have had it in another life?
You call it karma. You call it karma. We call it universal energy field. It's interesting to understand why we are born the way we are born and what brings us to a cycle. And then you understand why. Yes, you call it karma, you call it aura, whatever. It's the energies you change. I very recently was in a position to watch a 8-year-old girl being abused by the mother, extensively by the mother. And it was bothering her. And I explained in a very simple way, the only person who can save you is yourself. The mother is abusive because the dad loves you and the mother, you're the enemy number 1. And I said, it's very simple in a life, the things you have to do. And in 6 weeks, she doesn't need the mother to be abused. The mother now is literally afraid of what? How gorgeous, independent girl she's become. It's not anymore hiding behind dad to get battered. It's me, you have to deal with me. I find my own solution. Then you tell me what you do to me. You stop pinching me, you stop punching me. And it's all how psychologically we create a condition to understand and absorb this.
Yes, thank you. Last question. And these methods for breathing, like there are kinesiotherapy, he says, breathe like that. There is yoga, breathe like that.
No. Yeah, the
of
teaching we will see come up is we teach you how to process the universal energy and how to clean up the barriers. That's all it is. Nothing else. You do it yourself. You have to find with yourself what is your block, why, which part of the energy you don't receive, which part of the energy blocks you. It's you who have to find out, but nobody else can do it for you. As I told you, you can't say, I pay you, teach, love me or trust me. This is the last man standing, and it's you who's the last man, and you have to find about yourself, and it takes very easily to do it. I sit in the car, I do. I walk, I do. And it brings so much clarity because I don't tap into I need to eat. I tap in what my body needs from the energy side, even the emotion. I cannot eat food to change my emotion. I tap into energy which brings me knowledge. It's very easy if you know. I tap into universal knowledge the way you flick your finger.
It's kind of an art.
No, it's a knowledge. If you speak to Rick, we have this joke sometimes, quite often. I don't know what the teaching is till I come. There's no script. Many of you been when I teach. And I know how to tap into the knowledge of the Creator. That's all. Universal teaches, the book is written, we just read from it. And this is the beauty of it. If you manage to tap into universal knowledge, I tap into the knowledge of creation faster than you blink your eye. We are messengers. We are teachers. We know where the book is. We know which chapter they want to teach. We are ready to accept. The souls are ready to accept. I was with my sister. She's a very well-known dentist. She's retired now. And she was sitting with me. We were discussing. She has a doctorate in homeopathy. And we were discussing something very deep. We were in the sun. I was lying on the sofa by the fire. And I said, something, I have to go to sleep. I'm tired. And she said, well, you rest. I'm sitting here. And I slept for God knows how long, whatever I woke up. I said, something? I said, yeah, she's a very nosy one. I love my sister. I adore her. She said, I saw you tapping into energy. I know how you do it. I said, what do you mean? She said, I've seen you, how you tap into knowledge. I said, you know something? I'll write a homeopathy paper by tonight for you. And if you go on the Keshe Foundation website, there's a paper in homeopathy. It was written in one afternoon. And she sat there watching me, what she said, tapping to universal knowledge. It's called the unknown truth about homeopathy. We know how to tap. We know how to tap. It's part of us. We read the book. We know where to go and get it. Any other question? Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Yeah, just a small thing. For those who ask, who want to get familiar with their souls, the power of their souls, is it enough to tell them you do good, act good, talk good and be
No.
kind.
You know, in the coming time, I'll teach you how you see the power of your soul. Then you know what to do with it. You do wrong, you get bashed to the wall. You use your soul the right way. This is part of our work, but you can't just do it. People, you know, it's like when I told you put your legs up. Have you seen how many pictures, AI pictures are everywhere about Mr. Kesh telling how to put your legs up? And I said to one of them, be careful, you don't put your legs the wrong way, you get pregnant. You think you're doing the lift job. This is the problem. You have to educate, and the straight stands on the back of it comes up. People have to understand the knowledge.
Understanding. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Very, very enlightening. Thank you very much. God bless
Thank
you.
you very much. Shall we call it a day, or you have more questions?
Oh, there's always more questions. There's a number lined up in the Q&A here.
Let's handle a couple of them and then we go.
Okay. Let me see here. I guess I should just go in order. So first question from Anonymous is, morning, Mr. Kesh. Long time ago, you gave us some understanding about the shadow and the purpose of it in the work of the plasma technology. Would you please expand on that a little more? Thanks.
What do you mean by that?
The shadow, I guess. I think he's talking about the, we have our, the bright part of us, and we have the shadow part, the dark side of our physicality, I guess you could say. Part we don't acknowledge, perhaps, or might be working.
The shadow, your shadow, you look at the shadow physically. Now we talk about the energies and your soul energies. Your shadow is created by your physical, but carries the fields of your soul. When you look at the shadow, look what's on the fringe of it, because the shadow itself is created by your physical blockage. But your aura, what is around your shadow, gives the information about the status of you. Learn, try. Your shadow today is not the same as your shadow tomorrow. The fringe of it, the aura of it, and if you can't read it, you can even tell your health by your shadow. Stand in front of the sun, looking at the sun, and look at your, if you can look at your shadow, we are back to the sun. Then stand sideways to the sun and see your shadow. Watch your feature. Tells you everything about your illness, everything about you. Your shadow is your doctor. You just need to write the prescription, what is wrong, and how to handle it. I always said, the best thing you do when somebody comes to you, just see how they walk. And then if you watch the shadow, which they create, you know what their intention is. Very easy. Always people around me know. I shake a hand with someone in 5 seconds. I know who they are and what I can do. And when I come at the meeting, I say, what's happened? We had this yesterday with a beautiful lady. Just 2 minutes she spoke. I said, you're good for foundation. I'll give you a senior job. The voice, the way they present themselves, it's what they are. Your shadow gives every secret about you. You want to watch a woman, Sit her in the light and see where her shadow is and how she plays with her leg or with her hand while she's sitting around you. You read everything in her emotion and thoughts. You don't need to go anywhere. You never make a mistake. You interview someone, always put a chair that they sit, then light comes from the window and you can see their shadow on the table. You can't hide it. Physically is you. Your shadow is your passport. Any other question?
Okay, from Ike, we have a question in the Q&A here. This also ties in with some of the other questions that people have had about the breathing and if you're stressed out or very tired and how that affects the breathing. But Ike says, please, what are other ways that one could control the rhythm of breathing, that universal energy, in order to recharge the lymph circulation if the physical lungs are absent, replaced with the aid of external oxygen?
These have to be taught, have to be learned. It's not something you do it instantaneously. Breathing techniques needs to be understood and taught very deep. You have to understand what's the cause of it. You cannot jump in the cancer and say, oh, I changed my breathing and cancer go. It can go, but you have to know what you do with it, how you create that condition. But where is the cancer? What's the reason of it? There are different ways externally you can control the rays or the fields you receive. And it is a knowledge. If you are in Holland, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, France, England, Singapore, China, and you have some of the old systems which are made by hand for you. And if you still know where they are, keep them. And one day donate them to the Keshe Foundation museums. There's a lot of secrets in their structure. There's hundreds of them, with many of you, I'm sure. Some of you still have it, especially in Holland, in Belgium, in France, and in Germany. Don't open them, because you bring diseases to yourself. Give them to the Keshe Foundation back, that the science in the future can understand what was built and how it was built. And your breathing systems, if you haven't used it, don't touch it, because now it's contaminated. But once in the hand of the right people, they know what to do with it. They can see how I change light and transform cosmic rays into, I do the job of your limb for you. But it's a knowledge. And it cannot be taught. It's part of the structure. Any other question?
We did have one question, perhaps you can answer, from Crypto Alchemist, Bernie in the YouTube. It says, Mr. Keshe, I too tap into the universal knowledge and share the teachings and educate the minds of souls awakened to hear it. Question, did you receive my email last week?
I don't know. I don't get emails. Emails go to another position. If they see it something good, I get it. If they see nothing in it, I don't get it.
Okay.
I don't get emails. A few people have direct access to it. The rest goes in the hand of people who received the information.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. It's really important. They can send an additional email, I suppose. And
yeah, but we get a lot of, especially people nowadays, we ask for if you have anything. We're getting a lot of things which are not in the line we work with. We just shell with. There's a lot of theories which does not fit into the work of the Keshe Foundation. If you, the knowledge seekers know, if you submit a right proposal that we see it comes to me and it's the right way with what we are looking for, you get a call from me direct. There's no beating with the bush. Given the time, I talk to you if it's there. We had this with a couple of ladies yesterday. We don't have time to waste if it is there. And one thing is, don't send me an apostle pages and pages. More than 5 lines, you're dismissed. Because I don't have the time and it's just a lot of bubble. If it's your CV, we look at your experience. If that isn't, then what you explain is 5 lines, no more. I was told yesterday, read all of it. I said, no, I refuse reading it. It's all blah, 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 blah. I'm so doesn't fit because the idea is not what we need, what we look for. This week, we have allocated 2 more rooms of the research center to 2 scientists. So now 7, I think, is fulfilled. So out of everything you sent, we have a look. We are still looking for a space scientist, communication, computers, medical doctors, people with the experience in sales. We desperately need, if you have sales experience. We're putting the team. This is our, what do you call it, one of our weakest point. Hopefully we found the right person for purchasing department. Very capable woman. And then we need people in agriculture, deep agriculture, farming and animal husbandry, environmental protection, everything. Next week, Keshe Foundation will put up a list on Keshe Foundation website. List of people we need for research and development is the list of them. We opened our list to the governments now, like the key. Next week we put on the Keshe Foundation website. You want to see what we're looking for, go into that page. We have everything available for it. If you have it, we'll look for it. It's extensive. It's directly comes from our site for the officials and the governments when they look what we're looking for in the governments, if they have scientists. Any other question? Let's call it day. It's nearly 12 o'clock.
Sure. Yep.
Thank you very much. And let's see what comes up next week. But please register. If you want your cash coins, you say you're a knowledge seeker. In the next few days, once we open the channels, register in the Keshe Foundation Association in Austria. Get your number, then makes it you're with the first ones to receive the cash coins, and you can do whatever you like with it, spend it, and do whatever. Thank you very much for your time, and see you next week.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Thank you. All right. Well, that brings to a close today's 646th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Any leftover questions? We have a few here. Please record them or carry them over to next week if you wish, and we can deal with them then. Thank you, everyone, for being here for today's Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And we'll be back again next week as per usual. Our next public teaching workshop, let me get the calendar up here, will be already into June 16th. Tuesday the 16th will be the One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace with members and support members of the Universal Council who put on that program. And that starts at the 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time, again on Tuesday, June 16th. Okay, and I think I have something else. If I can find it here. Yes, the announcement from the Universal Council. Just have to get that transferred over and find it again where it went. It's not it. There it is. And this is from the Universal Council through Lissy. And it goes, we, the Universal Council, invite the Kesh and Universal family present on the earth in unifying at the soul level every time, every day at 9 p.m. Central European Time. We, the Universal Council, give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Okay, thank you, Lissy, for that. And we see back to our background image, which is from the agricultural workshop or agricultural video that we saw in the last workshop from the Chinese agricultural systems that are set up in China currently. All right, again, thank you everyone for being here today, and we'll see you in the following workshop, no doubt. We'll go out with our usual flight enhancement spaceship unit, music version, and see you next time.